Have you ever wondered what it's like going on a coveted barrel pick at one of your favorite distilleries? Well, Jason's going to tell you all about it because he goes on every damn barrel pick anybody ever gets. Welcome back to Cockblock. I'm Cockblock. Oh, shit.
Damn.
Oh, my
son,
God.
Damn.
Throwback.
Wow.
We got the Cockblock.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
We got that bottle right here. That was our old beer group.
Both of those are from the same store.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know where that came from. Well,
I like
obviously,
that.
I
I
know
like
where it
that.
came
I like
from.
that.
Yeah. I
There you
got Cox on the mind.
There you go.
Welcome back to Our Sin and Culture. I'm Matt.
Jason.
Anthony.
And we are going to dive into the wonderful world of barrel picks. I've never been on one. It's hard for me to talk about it because even the one that I organized, I couldn't go on.
You can dream about it and just talk about your dream.
I live vicariously through Jason's barrel pick.
There you
barrel
go.
pick adventures.
There you go.
So
Well, Anthony's been on a few too, so we can talk a little bit about it. So, with this episode, we didn't. I can't even freaking
Blah,
talk
blah,
about
blah.
it. Jesus Christ. I'm Eddie Vedder over here. So on this episode, we talked about highlighting like a certain barrel pick or something, but we thought, hell, let's just talk about the whole process because we have been fortunate and done quite a few.
Yeah.
So
Right.
from Four Roses to Nulu to this Bullet.
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 There you go.
yeah.
So you want to start us out, Anthony? You want me to? Well, you want to talk about barrel picks? Let's tell them all about it.
Which
Sure.
ones are okay? So we got a whole bunch of them lined
We
up
got too
here.
many. We got too
yeah.
many.
Yeah. and
So
we
let's
don't-
get a pour of one before we get rolling too far.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
I'm excited to try the Nulu stuff.
Yeah.
Because I
Well, we'll start out talking about
honestly
that
just because of how much you're talking it up. So
one. Yeah, you're welcome.
All
we'll
right.
see how good it is. So which one we've
so,
got?
So Nulu
Here,
is.
let's tell everybody what bottles we have to choose
Yeah.
from here real quick.
So we've got two Nulu picks. This is from a group here, Bluegrass Barrel Pickers. Our friend Jade, who's been on the podcast many times, is a member of that one as well, as also an admin. We have two Four Roses picks over there. One of those was one that Matt was supposed to go on that I got to go on. So thank you, Matt.
yeah.
And then one that Anthony recently did, both of those through the same store.
Right.
And then lastly, we have a Bullet pick, which also Anthony did
Yep.
through the same store in
Yes.
Georgetown, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah, that was when. So the store changed ownership. Jason, you went with the old
Yeah, with Derek.
old
right?
ownership, and
Yeah.
we were with the new ownership. So
Yeah. So and I noticed the Four Roses picks, they give you like this little like middling sticker, which is fine. But like most of the other distilleries, I guess
They don't give you those, so you have
They
to
don't-
make
yeah.
those
right.
yourself.
So the Four Roses put these on there, and then
Yep.
the other ones. And I always love the concept we came up here. So that was a collaboration from my beer group at the time, the Coalition of Craft Beer Lovers of Kentucky, or for short, call it Cockblock. We actually had a radio show on public access.
I remember
radio.
you telling me that.
Yeah, and I don't know how they let us have a freaking radio show called Cockblock. The only rules they said we had was you can't cuss on
couldn't
the air,
cuss, couldn't talk about price.
which is really hard, and you couldn't talk
That's
about
great.
price. And I was
Weird.
like, those are the two things we do most often. But so Cockblock, the Coalition of Craft Beer Lovers of Kentucky, got
Yes.
with Liquor Box in Georgetown, and we came up with the mashing the words together, and it's Cockbox.
I love it.
Yeah.
Freaking
Very
love
clever.
that.
Very clever.
Yeah, and then this one just says Bluegrass.
Just says liquor box.
Yeah, that's boring.
But real quickly, when you're on that, I mean, Jason probably knows this as well, but the reason why the Nulu one and the Bullet have stickers on them is because you're allowed to do that because these folks don't mind if you do it.
Correct.
Right.
The
That does
problem
come
is-
from. Go ahead.
Was it Buffalo Trace
Yep.
and Four Roses and some others? Is Knob one of them or not? I think Knob Creek now
I think
is.
Four Roses and the other one. Who's the other one you said?
I said Buffalo Trace.
I think both of those do not want you to have stickers on them.
Really?
anymore.
Yeah, so like if you get a barrel from them, they tell you like we're not going to let you put tater stickers on there or whatever they say. They say if you do that, then you can lose your ability to pick.
If they catch you,
Yeah.
I mean, the store you went through too could
lose
their
the
ability.
picks. and
Could
all that
you
stuff,
could
yeah.
you run a design by them and have them approve it, or do they
No,
just say
they
nothing
say
at all?
no.
Yeah, you agree.
So what's the only thing that what's their way to differentiate that it's your private barrel pick?
They have a sticker on it.
that
they
sticker
put-
you're
they
looking
put their
at
own
that you
sticker.
like there? What's
So
that?
it'll be a sticker of like your store.
You're talking
So
about
look at
Buffalo
the-
Trace though, right?
Look at
Yeah.
look at the Nulu sticker. Flip it around there. So it has a.
So they'll just
liquor
do one
barn.
like these.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
They'll
Okay.
do that.
That's what Buffalo Trace does. They'll put like the store's logo on a gold sticker.
Yep.
It looks similar, not the same
Yeah.
as that.
So what we've added to
boring
the
bullshit.
what
Boring,
we've added
yeah.
to the Nulu there, they came with the stickers: a single barrel select, Bluegrass Barrel Pickers
Mm-hmm.
through Liquor Barn, and then we've added like this little medallion on the front of this one, like the red one with
Yeah.
the Bluegrass Barrel Pickers logo,
Yeah.
and then the back labels.
Yeah.
So
you all can see this on our YouTube channel. What's the name of our show? Arsenic Culture.
Arsenic Culture, not Cockblock.
I almost said
Radio.
Cockblock again. Yeah, Arsenic Culture on YouTube. But yeah, go ahead.
So let's pour Nulu batch 1, and we'll go
Okay.
from there. It's the one that's already
I'll let
open.
you
There.
start
Go ahead and
this
get. Okay, yep. So
Batch uno. I like it.
So Nulu is based out of Louisville. There's an area of Louisville called Nulu. So
Right.
Yeah.
they've been there. I don't know how long those guys have been there actually, but the majority of their barrels that they've picked have been MGP. So Indiana, out of there.
Yeah.
And the majority, I would say, between 4 and 6 years old, roughly.
Yes.
And then what year's on this one, Matt? It's on the front. I think it's 5.5.
Yep. Yeah. 5 years, 6 months.
So what differentiates this one, when we went on this pick, I got to go on it with Bluegrass Barrel Pickers, and I'll be honest, at first, I wasn't really excited about going.
Why not?
Well, because you can throw a rock and hit 1,900 MGP 4 to 5 year old picks in the store, and I'm like, I don't know what would differentiate it, but
Right.
I did get excited when I heard this one was something different. And
Okay.
a lot of places you would go to that source their barrels, so they don't actually distill it. They buy barrels from someone, let you pick it or blend it, whatever.
Okay.
So from this one, it's Barton. And Barton is also what, Anthony? Who owns them?
Sazerac.
Sazerac.
Which is Daddy Buffalo Trace.
Buffalo
says.
Trace,
There
baby.
you go. Yeah.
So when I heard Barton, and then I was pretty excited. So we got to go there. We got to try 4 different barrels. A lot of barrel picks, they'll bring you out like 4 Roses as what all recipes 10. They
Yep.
bring you out 10.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
This one brought you out 4. They could have gave us more if we wanted it, but we fell in love with 2 of the barrels. Well, actually, 3 of the barrels, 3 of the 4. And this was the first one we picked. So there was only 100 bottles of this one.
Nice.
Wow,
Okay.
short barrel, huh?
Yeah,
That's why
very
you got,
short barrels.
and that's why you picked that sticker.
Correct.
Now you show that
Correct.
sticker real quick. Then people didn't see it.
Who you calling
Who
shorty?
you calling short?
There you go.
AI
I
at
like
its
this. Yeah.
finest.
Very
AI
good.
at its
AI,
finest.
AI is taking over the world, man.
Very good.
So for this one, it's 55.6 proof. 66 point.
This
what
one's
is it?
It's a stout little guy.
It's 133.6 proof. It is 5 years, 6 months. So, and then the other one is a sister barrel. So we had a really good reception with this one from the group. Everybody was really excited about it. And then they offered us, they said, hey, we have one more of those barrels left. That was on the same initial palate that you tasted.
Yeah.
Would you like to have it? And it was immediately a resounding yes.
Nice.
So that's where we got
Nice.
those.
Cool.
So when you're talking about picking over there, how many people did you have in the group? And then was it kind of unanimous, and did you blind? Did you guys do any blinding after that, or you just kind of say like, we got these 2 barrels, we're gonna get both of them, or you weren't sure?
So we knew they were we knew they were Barton.
Okay.
That's all we knew. We didn't know the specifics on them. They told us they were between 5 and 7 years old.
Right.
So we didn't know proofs at that point. They pull it out with a whiskey thief, which is a tool you stick down in the barrel, the bung hole,
The bung.
the bung hole.
Bung hole.
Get that thief in the
So
bung.
you put the thief in the bung hole, Matt. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you bring that out, you get a little char in your glass and everything, and that's how we tasted them. So we went around. There was 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there was 5 of us tasting on that day.
Okay.
Okay.
The group numbers, I mean, at that time they've been growing that group. I mean, I'm in it too. I think there was probably 700. Now we're over 800.
Nice.
So, but I mean, again, you had 100 bottles and they went really fast. So, I mean, a lot of people missed out on this one. Limit 1 per person is pretty limited.
Right.
So,
Okay. What do you think of this one? Well, you haven't had it. I haven't had it. I just took a sip.
So I've actually had it twice. Actually.
So I'm the only one. All right.
Yeah. Jason shared a little bit with me, gave me a sample, which I enjoyed. And then I also was given it in a blind recently,
Really nice.
which was really interesting as well. So, and I had no idea it was funny when the person revealed the blind. They were like, here's what this is. And I'm like, I've had that before. But,
Yeah.
It's a pretty tasty pick.
Yeah, it's pretty strong on the nose. I'm not gonna lie. But I get the
you're not
flavor.
going to offend me.
Yeah, the flavor. I'll offend you.
You can offend me.
Challenge
You
accepted.
can't offend me.
It's real cinnamon forward, like
It
cinnamon
is.
candy.
Yep.
Kind of like cinnamon, like cinnamon bread that I kind of get my Maymall used to like.
It's almost like a cinnamon oatmealish cookie.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
a little icing on top
yeah,
or something.
yeah, I can dig that.
It's
This
definitely
is
sweet.
yeah, it is very sweet. This proof is like the upper edge of what I prefer
Right.
to do neat. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I mean, I like it. I like it a little bit below 110.
I think for a
just
Barton
straight.
pick, and I mean I'm biased, I went on it. It's our group, but I think for a Barton pick, it's very solid, and to have the opportunity there for them to give us, kind of roll out the red carpet
Yeah.
for us, it was we were pretty fortunate.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
So,
That's great, man. So the second one here.
Let's get number 2 more. We're talking about that one. So this is a sister barrel. It's 137 proof, very close. Also 5 years, 6 months, same age.
Very good.
So it should be pretty similar.
I love
You
that
gonna get
little
through that wax there?
I think we can get through the wax.
Yeah.
I'm
I
pretty
love
sure
that
we
that
can.
wax little stamp that they put on the front. Too.
As
That's
you're
really
getting
cool.
as you're getting through that, so I don't know if I've ever talked crap. Okay, about Nulu. I don't think I've talked any crap about Nulu.
I love the way you say that.
Talk shit.
There it is. There it is.
So used to not swearing on
Thank
our
you,
podcast.
Grandpa.
There you go. So for a while there, Nulu had so many things that were coming to market.
Yeah.
They were everywhere in the stores, different
Toasted
colors.
and all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Toasted apple cinnamon, this, that, the next thing. And for a while I was just like, listen, I'm not buying any of this stuff. I'm not even buying an 8-year-old, probably really good rye for $100 because I'm just sick of it.
Right. Marketing shit.
The reintroduce of these kind of barrel picks, which I think I saw one at Liquor Barn, right?
Yep, they've done 2 over there.
Seems to be like a really good thing they got going on, and the fact that you guys were able to get in there, the barrel pickers were able to get in there, bluegrass barrel pickers, and get some of these is really good because I'm actually a fan of this distillate. So
Okay.
I am too. I've enjoyed this one.
And you said
So-
this is all MGP?
No. This is not MGP.
Not
so
MGP, my
Nulu
bad, my
historically has been. No, it's okay.
That's right.
This is Barton. So this is Kentucky bourbon, not Indiana produced.
Okay.
So, but Anthony's right though. I mean, it got a little confusing to be honest when you go to the store and you see Nulu and there's 18 different bottles
Yeah.
with 18 different colors of wax.
Yeah.
You remember beer wise Eclipse?
Yeah.
Like it's like this one's the purple wax, but it's this shade of purple. I was like,
Yeah.
what the hell?
This brewery put out stouts, and the bottles were exactly the same. And the only thing they did different is they aged each stout in a different barrel. Kind of a cool concept.
It is a cool concept.
Yeah, some would be a Pappy barrel. Some would just be like, a regular Heaven Hill barrel, or they'd be
Right.
like a Willet barrel. The only way you could tell the difference is the colored wax. But it wouldn't tell you on the bottle what the color wax means.
Nope.
So they had to put up a legend, like a map legend, like a cheat sheet to show you which color wax on the shelf. And it became this convoluted, like,
Right.
Well, but it had
mess.
shades. Like you would have 3 purple wax.
Yeah, there'd be like
And,
lavender.
just a little bit shade.
Yeah,
Like, what the
and then
hell?
chartreuse, and then like it was it was pretty.
Then
ridiculous.
you're trying to read that off a dot matrix
Yeah.
printed thing. It's like, what the hell?
And the thing is most people, let's face it, aren't going to be nerding out on their spirits
No.
or their beer like we are.
No,
Right.
Agree.
And they're going to walk in there and they're going to want to know what they're looking at. And that's half the battle with a lot of these companies is how do you differentiate yourself? And so I actually like this label. I like
black label.
the black
Yep.
label. It's looking nice.
Yeah, I know Liquor Bar did the Wagyu Lou, they called it.
Yes.
On that one.
I tried that
Wagyu
one. It was
Lou?
very
Yep.
good too.
Wagyu Lou. That's what it's called. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the barrel pick process. So if anybody's not been on that, you pretty much have to go through a store. I mean, that's what we've been in our presence or what we've been
like a
doing with
liquor
the
store
groups.
has to facilitate the
Right.
process.
Pretty much. Now there are some that you don't have to. So like if you went to Nulu, you could probably pick your own barrel. Like pay for it. I'm sure they could figure out some help with you there. I know with Good Times, like those guys have done some things with that one too. I don't think you have to have a store for some of those.
New Riff is also they sell right through the gift
Riff.
shop. Yeah, we
Okay.
could go pick a New Riff barrel tomorrow if we wanted to. The three of us
And I
could.
think they actually don't let you. You don't have to take the whole barrel, do they? Don't they do like quarter
yeah,
barrels?
you can do quarter, half. Yeah,
But you get to keep the barrel.
No,
no,
I doubt it.
not
You'll
if you
get the bottles
whole
though.
thing. Get the bottles.
No, that's what I mean. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
It's like a prorated amount through the gift shop.
Correct.
Anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt you, sir. I
No,
just
no,
wanted
that's
to
it.
double down on what you're saying.
So anything
we'll
else?
offend him eventually. We'll get there.
You cannot offend me.
yeah.
So what about the barrel pick process? Let's talk about the Four Roses that actually you went on there, Anthony, or
Okay.
the Bullet, whatever you want to talk about.
So yeah, real quickly, as you were talking about bluegrass barrel pickers, I think it's an important point to differentiate. So that's a private group, right? Versus what we got to do, which
Correct.
was go to. We had a Andrew Zalewski, who's a really good guy. He invited myself and others to go on picks for Bluegrass Liquor Box. So you mentioned the change in ownership. When the new owner took over, they don't drink. And he was looking for a group of guys who could kinda
ironic.
come in and but
That's common out there.
I
some
actually see a
places.
lot of liquor store owners who don't drink.
Correct.
Really?
Maybe it's because they're too close to it.
Right, yeah.
They maybe had a
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah,
with
maybe it's
that.
like a
Who knows?
comfort thing
Yeah,
where if
I
like
don't
you
know.
go through,
Yeah.
the rehab or something like that, you're like, as long as I know it's right there, then I don't have to touch it. I mean, seriously, people do shit like
Yeah,
that. You know what I
maybe.
mean?
Good
Yeah,
point.
I don't know.
But in their case, they were just looking for some guys that could get together and pick. And so the first opportunity we had to pick with them was this Bullet barrel pick there that
Okay.
you have on that'd be on my left, your right.
Yeah. Stage right.
And
It's the full custard pick.
yes, the full custard. We'll try that here eventually. That was a pretty standard thing, similar to the process Jason's describing. I think it was 4 barrels or 4. They don't have the barrels in front of you, though. They pre-pour them. They're already proofed down to 104, so you're not tasting at cast strength. But Molly, Single Barrel Sis on Instagram. She's a really good person. She's the one who runs our barrel pick program over there, and she's done a great job. And so that was different than Four Roses, which you guys, you have experience with. You would have had experience, but Four Roses.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, they give you the full 10.
It's a red carpet rolled out for you.
Yeah,
down
Four
there.
Roses, 10 recipes, all at barrel strength, much different.
Yeah.
Honestly, all my friends who are whiskey nerds have told me that you never get another barrel pick experience like that anywhere.
No.
And so
Welcome, asshole.
that was the third one we got to do for them. Actually, we actually did a Woodford pick too, which I won't say too much about that, but Woodford.
Oh yeah.
Here's what I can say.
Okay.
You get to taste 3 samples at cast strength. Then they water them down to 90 proof or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then they mix them.
What?
Yeah.
It's a blend. It's not a
It's
true
a
single
blend.
barrel.
They don't give you a full single barrel because they do a liter bottle and they
Okay.
give you X amount. I mean, Liquor Box has them. It's a decent pour. I'm not
But-
going to rake on it or anything or say anything bad about it.
But it's not like being unique. Like
It was
there's no
just such
personal
a-
touch to that.
It was probably the most disappointing experience I've ever had in my entire life. I was like all excited to go pick at Woodford, and then when they showed us how they did it, I was like sitting there like this the whole time.
That's interesting that they proceed that way. Like they
It was
should
not fun.
they should like understand from their peers, from like the other people that do it a certain way, that there's an expectation. Why do they do it that way?
I guess it was just Chris Morris
Probably
when he
their
was
taste. What
Yeah.
they want, their brand.
and he
Yeah.
said he didn't want anything because they like do the profile there. It's one of those
I
brands that does
guess.
the profile.
Yeah.
So
The whole point of this though is to kind of create a different profile.
you would think so. So yeah.
Okay.
But
Well,
that was
it's like Knob Creek when we went there. We did a pick there. I've done 2 picks. I've actually got to go there in person. Then they've actually sent us kits. I guess I've done 3 picks with them. But
Yeah.
the kit's actually very nice from Knob Creek. Have you seen those, Anthony?
yes.
Like a wooden box, 3 like half pint samples usually, and then you'll have like a little, I don't know, beaker that you mix water with and like proof it down, because they always proof it down to 120. I think Knob Creek's pick.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, I don't really want to water that down either.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I had on that. Well,
Try not to interrupt you, Mr. Important.
Do you know what I wanted to say? Did you ever have a chance to try the Knob Creek picks? It came from the one that I had was from LKB. Did you ever have that one?
I didn't have did I try that one? I got a couple that you did. Yeah.
I think you got a ball that one.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I will cry into my glass here. That was actually a very good pick. And even though I'm not an LKB, I really appreciated that pick.
Yeah.
and that was a really good
Yeah,
one that
yeah.
they did.
I think I
that
still
was
got
very,
some as
very
well.
I'll
good.
tell you, you talk about with Knob Creek and stuff. So it's Jim Beam. I mean, essentially, but I feel like we missed the boat back in the day when we had those 15-year
Oh,
picks
yeah.
just sitting on the damn shelf.
Well, I
mean,
didn't miss the
sitting
boat. I
there.
drank them all.
Well, I did too, but I wish I'd have had cases. You know what I mean?
know.
Yeah.
I think I've got 2 set back. They're like 14 years plus.
Yeah.
But it's changed a lot. Now it's 9? I mean, you're essentially getting 7 to 9 probably.
Both Russells and Knob were putting out
Yep.
older than 10-year-old distillate, and now you're getting the 7 to 9. And man, some of those early Knob Creek picks that were like the 13, 14, 15 year,
Yeah.
that was my go-to because they were $50-$60. I just
Yeah.
kept drinking them.
Yeah.
We did a 15-year for my beer group.
There you
I
go.
mean, like, several years back, and I thought it was good, but I wasn't like, I didn't appreciate like I should have.
Is that
Yeah.
the one? Did you put a yellow wax on that one?
I don't think we put any wax on that one.
Okay.
Oh, no, that was the LKB with the yellow
That was
wax.
the LKB. Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay.
Going to the distillery anytime you have a chance to versus getting the box sent to you.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, take that opportunity, right?
Yeah.
But I think a lot of distilleries since COVID as well, they're taking it on. Oh, we can't do in person. I know Knob Creek has said that now.
Right.
I think they
Still?
still let people get down there every now and then. But
Okay.
I mean, imagine if they can just send it to your store in a box.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a whole lot less, cheaper on them labor wise and all that shit.
It is, but
the
for
experience is
yeah,
so much better.
And that's the thing. For something that is supposed to have an intrinsic value to it, there is an
Right.
element of this that is purely intrinsic value that would actually add to it, like
sure.
creating that
For sure.
experience. So I feel like you kind of dilute the whole process by removing some of that, that mystique.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Woodford does the same thing too for their double oak.
They just send you the
really?
They
box.
send you a box with the premixed, and then you pick one of 3. So that is actually something that's becoming more popular. And I think, I'm not sure yet, so I can't say for certain, but put this out there. And if it doesn't
Yeah.
end up being true, it's okay.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to get to go to Jack Daniels and do a barrel proof Jack Daniels pick
That'd be
for
nice.
Liquor
Okay.
Box as well.
Hell
Probably
yeah.
this summer.
Spoiler, we got one coming too.
You got one too? Oh, there you
Grass
go.
Barrel Pickers got one
Put them
coming.
head to
Boom.
head. Put them
They
head
just
to head.
announced it yesterday.
Nice. Very
Yeah.
good.
I think we're
man.
going in August though. It's a little ways out.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
What
Well,
do you-
maybe we'll try to pick the barrels before you get there.
Whatever.
I think we're in May.
Whatever.
You know what would I think improve like the whole
I'm gonna cut you.
the box experience?
Be like Anchorman right there stabbing each other. Don't stab the face.
Yeah, no face. Of course, not the
the
face.
face.
I'm just gonna walk around with a grenade, like slowly, just like looking at people. Yeah. You ever seen what is I almost said French Onion? What's the Glass Onion? You ever see that movie, The
I have
Glass
not.
Onion?
I've heard about
no.
it, but I've
Yeah,
not.
it's a Knives Out mystery. It's got who played James Bond?
Okay.
Daniel Craig.
Yeah, it's got Daniel Craig in it. It's
Nice.
a great movie. It's like a fun kind of tongue in cheek mystery movie, but they in the beginning of it they send out a mystery box to this guy sends it out to all his friends.
Okay.
Oh, I have seen this
Yeah.
actually. I'm sorry. I have.
Oh, you have?
yeah.
Oh,
And
so
it's
I'm the
like
odd man out here.
The
There you
box
are.
is like an invite to like a party or something like that, but they have to figure out how to get into the box. So it's like they call each other and they're like looking at these clues, like how to open the box and like moving pieces and shapes, and it opens up and there's something else. Like do something fucking cool like that, like to where
That
it
would be cool.
Make
That
the
would be-
box the
yeah.
experience.
Why not?
That might be cool. So, Woodford Reserve, you can call me and just send me an
Knob
email.
Creek, and
Yeah,
Knob Creek.
and
Knob
Knob
Creek.
Creek. Yeah, I only charge $1,000 an hour. I get you hooked up.
Minimum of $10,000.
10,000. Yeah, 10 hours. Yeah.
I need enough money to retire, damn it.
Well, let's try this Four Roses, then. Let's try
Okay.
yours,
Okay.
and then we'll go back to the cockbox pick because that's been an older one too. So
yeah, you want to do liquor?
pass that one around. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Start
while
this
you're
out.
passing it around, I just want to say this. So I had no expectation other than what people had told me, which was that this is going to be a really great experience. And so I'm not the most experienced person there. The folks that were there were Kenny, Mossick, Andrew, his buddy, Steven from Mashup, and myself, 6 of us. And so I fashioned myself as somewhere in the middle.
Right.
And I just kept talking about the fact that when you're picking a barrel, if you have the opportunity to taste 10, hopefully you got one where you're like, man, this is going to, light things on fire for me.
Right.
The nose or something is going to jump off at
sure.
me.
And it's
So I
just
kept
gonna,
saying,
yeah, stand
yeah,
out.
look for the moment. Look for the moment. That's all I kept saying. I kept annoying people. Look for the moment. Well, at Four Roses, they put your pick, they
Yep, they have 'em poured for you.
yeah, thieve them out of the barrel for you, and then you put them on the Lazy Susan, and you got all 10 in front of you. And so it started off slow. We're like,
Yeah.
oh, it's good. Oh, it's good. Oh, it's good. This was, I think, number 7 maybe on the Lazy Susan.
Really?
And as soon as I nosed it, I was like, oh, that's special.
Okay.
And they were like, don't talk to me. I don't want to know what it is. No one's like, don't talk to me.
That's a good point. When you go tasting or like a barrel pick, I don't want to be talked to either. Like, I don't want to be led to where their
Right.
flavors are. Like if
Right.
somebody says, I'm getting, this and that, and I'm like, damn it, I wish you hadn't said that because now I'm going to taste that or maybe not. Just
Right.
messes with me.
Exactly. So some were more finicky than others, but we were very excited that when we kind of got to it, and we didn't stop there. Like we did a vote after the initial round. And well, if Kenny were here, he'd tell you I picked it from the beginning.
heard
Kenny,
about it, yeah.
he did walk in and like say that's going to be the winner without tasting anything, which is
You got to look at
crazy.
that barrel, man. Look at that most jankiest looking barrel.
That's
the
what he
one.
did. He picked
Yeah,
the most
that's the one,
janky
yeah.
looking barrel, and that was the one.
Yeah.
But after we tasted the initial round, we took a vote, and then we did blinding. And there's a whole other story about that.
So
I'm not going to take
tell
time
our
to get into
listeners,
there.
Not everybody listens to us or watches us, maybe doesn't understand blinding. So
Right.
single blind, double blind, can you tell us the difference on those?
Right, yeah. So single blind would be like, okay, we're looking at these across the table. We know that they're going to be a 1 of 5 glasses because we know the 5 possibilities. If it's double blind, we have no idea what it's going to be.
So they would pour those in the glass for you, mix it up. You wouldn't know which is which.
Right.
But single blind, you would see what you could pick from.
Yeah.
And
Right.
in double blind, they just pour you a glass. You got to figure it out.
Exactly. Well, the thing that's weird between Four Roses is we didn't know what recipe we were tasting or anything. And so we went down from whittling it down to 3 different ones that we really liked.
Yeah.
When they blinded us, all they did was color code the glasses. So we still didn't really know what we were tasting other than we knew it was Four Roses, but we didn't know recipe. We didn't know proof, nothing else.
Okay.
Yep.
I get that cock box pick.
Oh,
too.
he's
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
the cock box
Please,
pick.
I'm gonna do side by side.
So once we got it figured out and we did the blinding of the second round, it still held, and we picked what we picked, which was this OBSK, almost 9 years old, and it was actually a tier 6, and tier 6 means that it was the highest part of the warehouse. And honestly,
Which
this
should
run
be-
of barrels is crazy.
Yeah, which should be a higher proof.
Should be higher proof,
less
which
yield because you get more,
Yeah.
angel share, I guess.
I think it was 148 bottles, I guess,
Okay.
came out of it. So
Okay.
it was pretty interesting. First time ever doing it, I didn't know we were going to pick a tier 6
Yeah.
and 125 proof.
Y'all making me envious. I have kind
You
of
should be.
Take that.
I feel like I pushed my palate into retrograde. I wanted to get a lot more nuanced earlier on, and I've gone in the opposite direction. I have kind of made a conscious decision to like try not to analyze a lot of the specifics, and I tell myself I do that for like a greater good, to try to take a step back and look at everything, and that's why I like to venture out and to try different things like cognac and brandy and stuff like that.
Right.
But then like you get into some of like the minutia here, and it's fucking fascinating. It really, and it's
Crazy.
fun to get down there like and break it down.
Always
Yeah,
learning.
Yeah.
And it's hard to, I guess, have a foot in both.
Right.
But I guess I've kind of pushed myself out. So it's like I know I would kind of wax a little more poetic on the nuances years ago, but like over time, where I'm just trying to take a step back and be more general with everything that I want to experience.
Right.
I am a lot more vague in what I actually can like pull out.
I think,
from a lot of
I think
this
it's
shit.
fine though. I mean, for me, it depends on like I don't think I have the greatest palate.
No,
I can get some flavors, and you can too. I think I lean on beer more. I've
Right.
had a lot of different experience with beers, and one of the guys I've talked about on here, he's a friend of ours, is Jordan.
Yeah.
And I think his palate's probably as good as anybody's I've ever drank with. Beer, bourbon, whatever.
Yeah.
But now, again, with company I'm with, like with you all, I might try to pull some flavors out, but I'm also going to say, is it good, bad, or okay?
Right.
I mean, that might be my
I guess at the end of the day,
description,
that's kind of that's what you go
Right.
with. But it's
That's what
like,
we do.
yeah, with yours, Anthony, here, it's like there is something that I'm getting right off the nose, and it's almost like it sounds bad to describe it this way. That's why I'm like prefacing it with, it's almost a slightly sour, savory spice.
Right.
And there, I'm thinking like maybe marjoram or like maybe like old ginger candy. And I'm not describing it like that sounds good,
Right. No,
but it is good. This is great. This is actually a fucking great beverage.
It's in. You know what?
It's very good.
When you're describing these things, it's what you're. I mean, palate is subjective.
It's 100% subjective.
And the most important thing of what Jason was just saying and what you were saying about pulling things out is who are you picking for? You have to imagine your audience because I've only got to pick a few times. I recently got to pick with Jackson's here in Lexington.
Yeah.
It's a great store. I know the owners. They're great people. They took me on a bullet pick.
Yeah.
I was the only one that liked a certain pull, and everybody else liked the other one.
And in the back of your mind, are you kind of wondering like, am I wrong?
No, here's what I was thinking. The other folks that were on the pick, that was like their first or second pick. I've only got 5 or 6 under my belt total, right?
Oh, I got you.
And so I was thinking about what do I like, kind of whiskey nerdish versus what does the general population like?
Yeah.
And that's a big difference, right?
Yeah,
huge
it's
difference.
a huge difference. And so, you got to know what value you're delivering to someone when you say, what's the efficacy, I guess, if you will, of my group versus Bluegrass Barrel Pickles versus these guys or whoever it might be. And what do you like? You know what I mean? What do you like the best?
I just remember what it is. My mom used to have these in her. My mom's Vietnamese. She used to have these in her cabinet growing up. It's a salted, dried plum, and I was getting that off the nose. It's like it's for me. It's very prominent because I grew up with that.
Well, you always relate it back to what
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
Yeah, for
100%.
sure.
Yeah. So I guess I ended up being able to tie it back together. Look at there. That works because I was like, there's something there. I don't know what it is. So I was trying to like, save face, but that's what it is. It's like a dried salted plum, which I used to love. I used to pop that shit. They kept the pits in them and everything. I used to love that candy. Yeah.
I remember when I went to the Four Roses pick and the guys that went on that pick with us, I drank with them and I knew that they knew bourbon much better than I did. So Charlie and then Anthony, not you, Anthony,
Not me.
Anthony,
A different Anthony.
Childers and then Charlie Eaton. But there's some other people, Will Weber, but they knew bourbon much better than I did at that point for sure. And I was intimidated. I was like, oh shit, I'm just going to watch them. Like I'm here to drink and just kind of watch them, right?
Yeah.
But I think if I give a message to people doing barrel picks is don't be intimidated. I mean, man, nobody's palate's necessarily better than yours. They're just better at picking out things, and you're going to get it. It's like that first sip of bourbon. If you have a first sip of the day that's barrel strength, I mean, that shit's going to be hot. It just is.
It always is.
Yep.
Something I learned from Kenny on your show, and I hadn't heard that before, was exhale.
Right.
Is exhale as soon as you take that first sip, and it really opens up the flavor.
Yeah.
You don't get that big burn.
Right.
Yeah.
So that helped me a lot too. So again, don't be intimidated by those. And I think I wanted to make a comment back to what you said is who you're picking for.
Right.
If me and you went on a barrel pick at Four Roses, and we had an OBSV, it's like, okay, I know what this tastes like. I mean, OBSV, here we go.
Yeah.
That's a fine pick. But if we had an OBSV that's off profile,
Right.
you gotta make, oh shit now.
Yep.
Let's hold on, we want that one. But if we're picking for a group, it'd be like, they might not want that off profile one.
Right.
They might want one that says on that little neck tag there,
Yeah.
here's the flavors you get. It's
Right.
what you're expecting.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
So it's all in who your audience is when you're picking. Sorry, it's long winded. But
Oh no, that was perfect. And I
I
will
am-
just
I am
say,
perfect.
even if even
Not
if we
offended
don't
yet.
end up tasting that bullet, that's why we picked that bullet, is because it was
profile.
off profile, like massively off profile. And I've heard other people say that as well. Like,
I mean, are you all drunk yet? or
we
do you
got
wanna
3
open it?
glasses. So I'm sure they can.
if you want to pour it in there,
Yeah, pour that shit open.
I just
let,
want
let him
you,
open
you
it.
should open it.
I'll just
see
let
what-
you know I don't have to drive after this, so I'm good with whatever.
What?
My son can drive. He's 17, so you know.
Can you
I'm
call it
actually
Jimmy?
going to walk.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Is your son's name Uber, Jason?
Yeah, for sure it is. Lyft some other stuff.
I'm really interested to hear what you guys think about this. And
Okay.
not, like,
I am
from a
too. I am
perspective
too, 'cause I kind of foo-fooed this one. You know, I've had some bullet stuff, and no offense to you, it's just more of like, it's like the Nulu.
Yeah.
Like I foo-fooed that. Like, I don't really want that one.
well,
you
there's
know?
there's picks that you're just kind of like you're not excited about. Well, I
But
mean,
you can be surprised.
and here's the thing: when I picked with Liquor Box versus picking with Jackson's, I feel like we got similar barrels offered to us, but we picked completely different just based on how they taste. And I definitely tasted something recently that tasted like this, but it hadn't turned a corner yet. This is only like, I think, about 6 years old.
Yep.
And so it's definitely distilled by Bullet. It's not any of their sourced Four Roses stuff.
And you say they proof everything down to 104 that they gave you.
everything was proofed down to 104 already, which I appreciate, because sometimes you go on a barrel pick, they give you something at 130 and say, we're going to bottle it 90.
That's
You're
that's
like,
awful. That's awful.
Yeah, and you're like, okay, well, I don't have any idea how it's going to taste.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
That's what happened with us
getting-
with Knob Creek. I mean, you'd have
Yeah.
some come in over 130 or at 130, and they're proofing down to 120.
Right.
Well, they give you the little beaker and say, well,
didn't
if it's
even consider
between
that.
this,
Yeah.
you add water. Well, I mean, I'm a human. I'm not a science. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
maybe I added too much water. Hell, I don't
Not a
know.
fucking
So,
robot.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we put a sticker on this calling it, well, I want you guys to taste first, but everyone tastes this. I tasted it, thought it was like butterscotch or vanilla, like snack pack, something like
get
that.
Yeah.
butterscotch or something.
Yeah.
Something
like that.
I could see that for
Oh,
sure.
God, yeah.
It's like a really weird, like minty vanilla profile.
I almost don't even get the minty out of there. Yeah, it's just like, it's like real rich, like vanilla custard, like all through and through.
Crazy.
Wow.
Isn't that nuts?
That is crazy.
Isn't
I
that
never,
nuts?
I never anything like that.
And what
Not from
bullet,
them.
what bullet have you ever had that tastes like that?
Nothing.
So we were like, woo. But
Now, was that with Jackson's or was that with Bluegrass?
that was a liquor box, and they may have some left. I'm not sure. I know I have some left. If y'all want any,
I wouldn't mind to have one.
Yeah,
it's
it's
a-
I like.
I think I've asked you for one for like a year, and you just say, "Yeah." I see how I ranked, but you,
been a year.
but you did give me a full roses, so thank you.
I got
Yeah.
you 4 roses.
But that proof is my wheelhouse too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like that's
104.
right up my alley. Yeah.
Wasn't very flavorful for that. I mean, I prefer, I'm probably 120, 130. I mean, I've had some really good ones higher than that, but
Absolutely.
120, 130. But this one here, I mean, it's very flavorful for that proof.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. You never know what you're going to get when you get in there.
Yeah.
And that's why it's always such a fun time to just talk to one another, hang out with people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just such a great experience. And I didn't have a lot of experience with it till this year. And now that I have, I'm hooked. I'm like, man, everybody invite me for a barrel pick. I want to go.
Yeah, if you got any barrel picks, invite any of us. We'll go.
No.
We'll go.
Don't invite Jason because
Actually, invite Matt, and then I'll make it if something come up that he can't go, and then I'll go in his place.
don't ever invite Jason because by some happenstance you'll end up not being able to go and he'll take your spot. That's just how it always fucking happens.